beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's, grape colored coops. Uno, no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable, they sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few, can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Show don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. This fielded at the 2.
Their own 18-yard line.
And his first look is incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points. In the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 23-yard line.
And the Lions first down.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Jackson to throw again. Looking for the hit. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Extra point good by Prater. And that makes the score 7-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, ready? 70, Indy. Push him back. Push him back. Ready?
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the two defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrett Davis in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Tatum. Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On second down, this is Jackson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Jackson now completes it to Davis. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Parker, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They'll look to get something started. They need to. Down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrett Davis, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Protein spill. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Watch the screen. Pass. They go.
To throw on third down. Tatum. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. The first carry for Josh Adams. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. It's Jackson. Uncorks one for Davis. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready to break.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining,
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Bravo. Hustle, hustle now.
On third down, Tatum. And able to connect with Barrios. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
80 weapons.
Throwing on first down. Tatum. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run with Pumphrey. They find some open field here. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
2nd quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Tatum. Got a man. It's Barrios complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Panthers, first down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
53, Mike 53. Coming in. Steve Griffin.
Running with the fullback, Alex Arma. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to second and 4.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Watch the flag.
They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On the run, it's Pumphrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Jared Davis on the tackle.
Huge off Horton.
A loss of 1. It's now third down and 6.
Mike 53. Mike. Man, that's trash. Hey, seam 6. 53's Mike. Check 53.
To throw on third down, Tatum. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Braxton Berrios, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point try good by Gano, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They run the counter. Jackson. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run here with John Kelly. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Ready?
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
We go. 70, Indy. Get that quarterback at all costs. Check three, check three, check three. Now.
Looking to throw on second down. Tatum. He finds his man Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Let's go. 25, check 25, check 25. Hey, Haywood. Let's go. Ready?
Off the play fake. Tatum.
Let's go.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Looking to throw. Tatum. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Mike 51. Check the backer, check the backer.
Now Jackson on first down. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. That's caught by Jackson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check. Whip. Watch the whip.
A draw play. This is Adams. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it with Jackson. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want... to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw on second down, Tatum. Thomas has got it, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Panther first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Sponge! Hey, Foxtrot!
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Hey, let's get this. 53 is the mic. 53. Check 53.
Go.
From the gun, Tatum. Gets it to Strong. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Don't get nervous.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off.
Ready to go.
53.
Snap.
On third down, Tatum. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Ian Thomas, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Gano the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, and a Lion first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Jackson. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down now, it's Jackson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2, and most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
Goes for the right side here, complete. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Check, check. Fresno, 6'6", bullet high. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
It's 3rd and
10.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
And the blitz does come. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Looking for Strong, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And he'll be brought down. At his own 10-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
We got 25 to Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run. Out, 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 out.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson firing quickly here, and that's complete. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 42.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And the Lions first down.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. On the carry, it's Jackson. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 22-yard line.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They run on first down with Jackson. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On the run, this is Jackson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. And the lead is now 13.
Makes the score Lions 27, Panthers 14. Sam Martin set to kick off.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Tatum. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Prater on to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over. The back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe they're returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Set, 8, read.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
A first throw for the backup Kessler. He's got the completion to Strong. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. It's Pumphrey on the toss. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Looking to pass, Kessler. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.